announced new sexual assault lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs this morning. Here's the issue. This man you could easily initialize as Sean C. I'm just letting the record be known. We share no correlation, no relation, no fellowship, no cross contaminate, no none of that. Okay, so I'm just letting you know. It's not me. This is all him. We just happen to have there's no other correlation outside of name. And I didn't realize that when I had made my YouTube channel however many years ago. I didn't even know that it would even be a point of contention, but now I got to explain myself, so just know there's no correlation. He said he's representing more than 120 people in the new claims against Combs and others. Many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed. This is a small little excerpt of the situation.
That really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward.
Man.
Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us, with people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs.
So look, that's the craziest part. Out of 3,500 people that called, they narrowed it down to and vetted about 120, I think they said. So out of the 3,000, they said 120 of y'all have enough information, documentation, or recollection of events with Diddy that happened either recently or in the past to build a civil lawsuit or case against him. The thing that I find crazy is that a lot of these law firms, they take on cases that they know for sure they have a good chance of coming to some decent resolution for. That doesn't mean that they only take cases where they think that there's no victim. So, out of the 3,500 people that called or that they interviewed or vetted, they took on the 120 that they thought for sure would be viable in a civil suit against Diddy. That doesn't mean that those are the only ones that they thought had something, but they just didn't feel like had enough. So it could be well over 120. It's just these are the ones that I think that they are almost for certain that they can prove. And unfortunately, I read even more and heard that out of the 120, there was a percentage, a pretty decent percentage of them that he said that a lot of the transgressions and a lot of the crimes that occurred with them happened when they were minors. Some as young as 9, 14, 15. Had to reiterate that because there are some people that think that there is a 9-year-old right now that was just recently victimized by Diddy. And while I don't think it's any better that there was at some point someone who was victimized by Diddy at the age of 9, that these people are all grown now and are recollecting events that happened when they were minors. So it don't make them look any better, but it's still insanely fucked up. But just to be accurate.
After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases.
So they're saying that there's even more people than Diddy that they're planning to go after. Who those people are, people don't know. That's the problem with speculation. You know, at this stage, if you've had any association with Diddy, and this is a hypersensitive, I won't say time period that we're in, but a hypersensitive moment, because this is an opportunity to round up and collect everybody that was in the ring with Diddy victimizing people. If you got any association, like, the general public is looking at you. And I don't know what the people that are running the investigations or are going to be conducting and filing the lawsuits, I don't know what information they have in general. All I know is at this point, Diddy doesn't have any leverage. He can't use to get himself out of any of these binds that this person was in or this person conducted it. Why? Because the people that are conducting the investigation or have what they have against them already know everything. They already know everything. So he has no leverage. They got all the evidence from what they say. That's only in the RICO case, though. On the civil side, they're saying they got enough evidence and testimony to go forward with these cases confidently. No good lawyer is going to represent 120 people and say to themselves, I don't think that there is at least over an 80 to 90% chance that we have something that will get this man or get you a resolution. Am I tripping? Or does Diddy have more accusers now than Weinstein? More accusers now than Bill Cosby? How many did they have? Like on either side. What's crazy to me is how much older they both are than Diddy. Diddy, I think, is in his mid 50s, early 50s, or maybe late 40s. I don't know, one of the three. And he's got either double or triple the amount of victims that they both got, or at least accusers. I'm just going over everything in my head because it's just so insane to me that there are some people that are given not benefit of the doubt, but are playing devil's advocate, saying that he has a chance in court. I don't see a way out. I don't. Not that I want him to get out, but I'm trying to reason myself into a reality where it makes sense if he doesn't end up suffering the full consequences or repercussions for all of this. Because when I was, in 2013 or whatever, when I heard about the Trayvon Martin case for what that was, my heart dropped to my stomach when I heard the end result, because I didn't ponder or wonder about any potential ways that he could have been found like not guilty. So I'm just mentally preparing myself and trying to run these simulations for a possibility or reality where he walks, but I don't see a way out. They're hitting him with everything. He's getting comboed.
We also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls we have received since our first announcement. Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we had received a small volume of calls and had screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to pursue justice.
And see, this is why there's a group of people that don't understand the power in numbers, and they think that every person that looks at a person of influence or power and they take their opportunity to deliver another blow after one accuser comes forward, they think that now it's a witch hunt because everybody wants money. No, this is just the perfect opportunity for everybody to come forward, especially if there's a case as public and as large as the one Cassie threw at Diddy. And settled, but to the public, that represents like some form of guilt. Not that legally he's admitting that he did anything wrong, but the settling is the worst thing that you can do for perception. And so when people see that there's doubt of your image, now is the best time for everybody to leap on that. Because if you just try to do it solo, you have the world that will smother any allegation you throw against this person, no matter how valid, and the person themselves that can make you seem crazy. Because that's initially what Diddy attempted to do when Cassie came out with her lawsuit. He initially tried to act like it was ridiculous. It was ludicrous. There's no way. And the public perception of Diddy at that point hadn't been as soiled as it is right now. But when that video came out, that was the knockout punch. That was the turning of the knife in his side. And she pulled that bitch out. Like I said, that's why I said Cassie's a hero in all of this. Cassie's the hero in all of this, because had she not gone forward, I don't think any of this happens, at least the way it does, as smoothly as it seemed to have gone. That's the power. that you have in numbers. When you see the opportunity, that's like the biggest chance. That's the biggest moment.
But no, most of these people are scared. They fear backlash in their communities. They fear backlash in their own families. They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates. They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety.
Man.
Many dirty secrets will be revealed. We know what we are potentially up against. And as is always the case in situations like this, when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty. You would be shocked at the length fans will go, no matter the evidence to the contrary, to defend celebrities they love. I mean, there's a reason for this word fans. They're fanatics.
I don't think a lot of people are worried about the fanatics on Diddy's side, though, because one thing I don't think Diddy has been good at in recent years is his social presence. Even before the allegations came out, I think most people, whether they were fan or not, found a lot of Diddy's behavior a little odd to some extent. I don't think I've ever seen, even before these allegations, a fanatic of Diddy. Some people might be fans of his music to some extent, but to the point where they would confidently defend his actions, when I don't think enough people follow him to that extent to confirm or believe whether or not the type of person that he claims to be is or isn't the reality. I don't think they were willing to go to those lengths. So, at least from the way I see it, it seemed like most people were very easy to hop on the train of Diddy doing what he did. I didn't even see any backlash, despite his attempt to try to smother Cassie's claims initially. I didn't even see any backlash to her initial claim.
Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old.
Jeez.
We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. 4th of July parties, something they call the puppy party, the all-white party, although several of these events occurred at auditions. Many times, especially young people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of conduct in the promise of being made a star, or in the promise of having Sean Combs listen to their tape, or even let them read for Sean Combs. Some of this behavior occurred at well-known
I heard
venues.
that they are selling freak-off tapes on the black market.
I don't know if that's true or not, but with how lax the operation seemed to be conducted, I wouldn't be doubtful that there's information that some parts of the general public would probably be able to get access to. Because, not to say that they should have run this tighter, but from the information that I've received, this was so loose and lax and not secured at all. I don't know if Diddy just had the confidence in his mind that nobody would turn, or he would never be found out, or if he believed in his power to, muzzle anybody that might come forward. Even as brazen as he was with Cassie, for him to do everything that he did, for him to not be publicly remorseful, or at least, in my opinion, seemingly privately remorseful about it, you would just think that he would go forward with the rest of his career with some level or a massive level of humility. He never seemed to be that way. He confidently moved forward in all of his business endeavors despite knowing what he had been doing. And it gives me it really make him look like a demon, no joke. Because do you not have this moment of regret or remorse or reflection and think to yourself, maybe I should move less arrogantly or less egotistical or less confident as I move forward the later parts of my career, in the ender portions of my life? Do I not reflect on everything that's happened and try to make wrongs right, even outside of a legal lens? It just seemed like he just carried on like nothing happened.
But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you.
Oh my God. I'm not even thinking about it, because I know we're gonna know at some point. As for these names, I am not even gonna think about or wonder who is or who isn't on it, because, as he said, it's shocking.
And I
And I believe it's shocking.
Sean, I need your help on how do we proceed. Do we boycott the music or separate the art from the artist?
He doesn't have anything that people are attached to musically to stop listening to. So, I mean, I don't know what Diddy has going on that's culturally relevant enough for the average person to stop consuming, to, I guess, inflict some type of damage on his pockets. It is about time that the general public, for the most part, had a win that results in the damnation of one of these larger entities or groups. So I'm happy about that, you know, because it seems that not only have they been taken advantage of from a consumer point of view, they've been taken advantage of from just regular everyday being able to interact with the world in a way that isn't traumatizing or being exploited. Like, these people need to go down. And it's just now happening. You know, I don't want there to be a reality where there's a person of influence or power that victimizes regular everyday people on a regular basis, and then it takes them 25, 30, 40 years almost to be prosecuted, or for their real intentions or their true nature to finally be exposed. You know what I mean? Hopefully this sets a precedent. You got to give credit to every single one that has a scenario or a case like that.
Allegedly, Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral upon him. Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party.
And like I said, again, to me, to a regular person, these things sound just ridiculous. They sound ludicrous. They sound they don't even sound, they don't sound normal. You know what I'm saying? They don't seem likely. And those are the ones that end up having the most validity when it's all said and done. I remember hearing that Diddy had an underground, like, something in his house. And the concept, to me, sounded so ridiculous that I rejected the thought, like, immediately. I'm like, that sounds like some Batman shit. Like some evil supervillain. I take a book out of the bookcase and a whole secret door opens up. And it was actually there. Like, nothing about it feels real because it's some shit that you have to dream up or think up. You wouldn't think that somebody's this diabolical. So while it's an allegation right now, I've fixed my mind to believe or entertain the possibility of anything. Anything's possible with these people. They have the power, the access, the finances, the resources to make whatever is going on in their head a reality. And for normal people who, if you wanted to have a stress relief or you wanted to entertain a hobby, you would either pay to go to a particular like club to enact in that, or you would spend a little extra money from your paycheck in order to pay into whatever your hobby might be. These people live in a completely different plane to where they can make whatever's going on in their mind happen. So I don't doubt nothing.